to share here with you today. The first thing is to truly accept how you're feeling. Now, I know that sounds very simplistic, but really in our culture, our society, we're not taught to really think about our feelings, process our feelings. How to, it's just we're very practical. Okay, what's the next step? You know, During the pandemic, pivoting became a big, buzzword. So here you are. Now we got to do something else. Let's just pivot. It's not how do you feel about it? But we are emotional beings, whether or not we're in touch with that, and whether or not we want to admit that. And so take a moment, take time. I mean, don't rush through this. Physically put your heart on your chest sometimes when you're feeling confused or anxious or worried, and ask the Lord to show you what's going on. Think about, how am I feeling? No judgment, no explanation, no justification for it. Just accept, get in touch with and accept your feelings. The second thing would be mindfulness, practice mindfulness. Now, I heard a great phrase earlier recently. If you think too far, or if you focus too far in the past, you can get depressed. If you focus too far towards the future, you can start to feel anxious. But when you can focus on just what is going on now, and this relates again to also your feelings, you can find peace. So if you find yourself feeling depressed, blue, whatever you want to call it, uh, you maybe you're dwelling too much on what has passed, what has gone on. And if you're feeling anxious, you could be doing those what ifs, which I find are very dangerous. But plug into my third step. Listen to your self talk. I don't know about you, but I am famous or infamous for having a conversation with myself during the day. Now, fortunately, I don't often speak it out loud. And of course, they say don't worry until you start answering yourself. That's when you should start worrying about talking to yourself. But I think we all, to a certain extent, tell ourselves stories, right? Especially when we don't know what's going on. As human beings, we have that need to fill in what we don't know. And so listen to your self talk. I'm giving you permission in this episode, if you need to go ahead and talk to yourself out loud so that or until you are able to really identify the kind of messages that you tell yourself. So listen to your self talk. Is it very negative? Is it very, um, you're saying things like always or never, which are rarely true. Are you putting yourself down? Are you giving yourself the kind of grace that you would offer someone else? Most likely not, because that's often the case. So listen to your self talk so you can start to tweak and make adjustments. Uh, you know, we're not, There are some people that you can listen to. Brene Brown is wonderful for this. Kenny Weiss, Mel Robbins are thankfully thought leaders who really encourage us to practice mindfulness, to get in touch with our feelings and emotions, and uh, overall, arching this is prayer, of course, to always cover this with prayer and ask the Lord to help you refocus, redefine, and find new words to talk to yourself with. But arching this too, I also want to say, please don't judge yourself for how you may be handling it or may not be handling it. For what you're doing or what you're not doing. Everybody deals with change and transition, whether they've been blindsided with it by it or whether it's just as a result of being complacent, in different ways and at different speeds. And if you can ask me in a later episode, I'll talk about how I know that it's important not to judge yourself harshly. Nothing good comes out of it. So I hope those three points, to will help you to accept what you're feeling and how you're feeling about the change and transition that's going on right now, to practice mindfulness, and then to listen to your self talk and prayerfully and thoughtfully and with counsel start changing the conversation in your head. Now, of course, this is not a substitute for if you feel you need to speak to a coach or a counselor. Counseling, there's no shame in any of that, and I would encourage you, if you feel that the situation is warranted, that you go ahead and do that. Uh, but whether or not you feel the need for that level of intervention, you still can practice the acceptance, living in mindfulness, and listening to yourself talk. And that will help you no matter what other ways that you approach this, uh, how you're dealing with this transition. So that's what I have for you today. No matter if you didn't see it coming, no matter why, try these 3 steps and see if it doesn't help you move forward. So thanks for joining me again, and I'll see you next time.